Next at 5, a developing story out of California where a military jet has crashed right into a neighborhood. The pictures of the damage and destruction still coming in. An update straight ahead. Also tonight, a search in the swamp after 2 planes go on a collision course over the Everglades. A cool start to the day, but it won't stay that way. A deal to save the auto industry may be on the fast track to getting done. Wild riots across the nation overseas sparked by a deadly police shooting. And despite a gun right in his face, one store clerk determined to turn the tables on a crook.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Balkis Nuray.
I'm Craig Stevens. 7 News continues now at 5.
Live from the news station, this is 7 News at 5.
Right off the top at 5 o'clock, we begin with that developing story out of California. An FA-18 slamming into a neighborhood, setting off a chaotic scene there. Good afternoon, everyone. At least one house going up in flames.
Smoke filling the sky for miles. The crash taking place in a San Diego neighborhood. And 7's Charles Belay is at the SAT Center with the latest information that's still now coming in. Charles?
It is just coming into the Plex right now, Belkis and Craig. That F-18 military jet crashed just 2 miles from its San Diego base. The crash happening around noon California time. Crews say the jet was preparing for landing at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar when the pilot ejected, sending the plane crashing into a densely populated neighborhood. At least 1 home and 2 cars caught fire. At this point, it is not clear where the pilot is or if he is injured. As for the people in that home and on the ground, so far no reports of any injuries. Residents in that neighborhood say when it hit, they were shocked.
I immediately rode my bike down there to see if I could help. This is before the police showed up and the fire utilities, but the fire had consumed both houses to where I couldn't even get near the house. So, and then I went by the high school and I saw one of the pilots. He was just dazed and confused. I don't know. But I did actually see the jet spiral out.
Well, just 2 years ago, almost to the day, another F-18 crashed in this same neighborhood. In that instance, the pilot was able to eject to safety and nobody on the ground was injured. In the Satellite Center, I'm Charles Belay, 7 News.
And the other big story here at 5 o'clock, crews searching the swamp after a tragic accident. Officials finding what they were looking for deep in the Everglades.
The search coming after a mid-air nightmare occurred over the weekend. 2 planes, you'll recall, colliding. 4 lives lost in the process of this terrible story this weekend. Search teams have now recovered the bodies of those 4 victims.
But the search for the answers, that's another story. Answers into how this all happened, well, that, as you might imagine, is far from over. Vanessa Medina, live near the crash site in West Broward to tell us more. Vanessa?
That's right. Somewhere out there, 3 miles out, pieces of 2 airplanes scattered all over the Everglades. This as the families of 4 people had the awful task of going to the medical examiner's office today to identify the body of their loved one. 4 bodies pulled from a mangled pile of wreckage after 2 planes crash in the Everglades. Airboats carrying divers pulling the body of pilot Stuart Brown.
Ambitious, dedicated, loved his flying.
The 25-year-old described as quiet by his family. They say he was always the consummate professional. He was a certified flight instructor, his parents flying in from Jamaica.
They're devastated. They are very devastated, but they have to, they're trying their best to hold up.
Brown and student Edson Jefferson took off from North Perry Airport on a single-engine plane like this one, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Around the same time, Brian Sachs, on a twin-engine plane similar to this one, was taking off from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International.
He's the fastest runner I've ever seen in my life.
Video from Facebook shows the charismatic Aspen, Colorado native at a friend's wedding. He was in South Florida getting an advanced certification.
I know this is a training area, and at the time both aircraft was doing some training, flight training.
Somehow the 2 planes flying on a visual flight pattern, which means they were under the radar, crashing into each other midair. Now the NTSB and FAA will piece everything together.
Once the aircraft is out, we'll start laying it out and try to figure out the order that the aircrafts actually collided. And then we'll use that with some more data, radar data, and other information that we'll have to kind of figure out what actually happened at the time.
It's just sad 4 people lost their lives for something they all loved.
Now, the NTSB, they tell us that there are 3 different wreckage areas. The largest area has to be taken out by helicopter, and that will happen tomorrow. They will have to piece everything together to figure out exactly what happened and what caused these 2 planes to crash into each other. This investigation could take up to a year. Reporting live in West Broward, Vanessa Medina, 7 News.
Also in the news here at 5, a security concern on board a plane at Miami International Airport. American Airlines Flight 1711 grounded for part of the morning after a passenger thought she saw somebody with a knife. The flight was heading for Santo Domingo. All 186 passengers were removed from the aircraft and had to be rescreened.
They're spending quite a bit of time with each person. They're patting everybody down and emptying pockets and looking under shirts and being very, very thorough here.
Well, no knife turned up. The flight was able to take off a short while later.
Also here on 7 News at 5 o'clock, these are some live pictures outside our North Bay Village studios. Look at that. After a chilly start to the day, a work week warm-up is in store for South Florida. Chief Meteorologist Phil Farrell joins us. He's live with the details on this. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Belkis, you know, we could see a 10-degree warm-up by tomorrow morning because this morning we saw temperatures in the 50s. 52 in Perrine, Pompano Beach, 53. West Kendall and Pembroke Pines, 54. Mid-50s throughout Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale. And Miami was actually the warm spot this morning at 58. Now, we do have beautiful weather outside. High pressure is in firm control. Skies are partly cloudy, and this is all due to that high pressure system. It will stick around for the next couple of days. But right now, there is the possibility of a slight sprinkle as the winds coming in out of the southeast will push in a little bit of moisture. But let's take a look down the road. As the high pressure tends to move away, it will warm us up throughout the middle of the week. And by Thursday, there's a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Why? Because we are looking at another front. This cold front looks very strong. The jet stream is pushing it in our direction. And right now, the models are suggesting that sometime Thursday, there is the possibility of some thunderstorm activity. I'll have a lot more on this in the local forecast coming up in weather.
It appears Congress may be close to a car deal of sorts, one the auto industry says it needs in order to survive. This agreement could be approved at any time.
The big 3 may be getting some big cash in a matter of days. 7's Richard Jordan is live in the Newsplex with the details on this apparent deal. Richard?
Belkis, not all the news is good, but the market is responding well. The Dow ended up almost 300 points at 89.34. The Nasdaq finishing up 62 points at 1571, and the S&P made gains up almost 34, closing at 909. The rally steered by the auto deal that makes billions of dollars available by next week. Congressional leaders sent the bill to the White House. The initial response this week, apparently President Bush does not like what he sees, which is not the reaction some people have been praying for. 3 hybrid SUVs take center stage on the pulpit at the Greater Grace Temple in Detroit, a message to drive home the need to save the auto industry. The car giants would stall without the help.
We push these companies into bankruptcy. Who's going to buy a car from them?
The plan would loan GM, Ford, and Chrysler between $15 and $17 billion. The deal includes an oversight board headed by a car czar to regulate the automakers. He or she could pull the funds if they want next year. There will be limits on how much executives will make and a payback plan that guarantees the taxpayers would be reimbursed before the shareholders.
If they don't meet the conditions of restructuring and the rest, there's not going to be an endless flow of money to this industry to continue, left to their own devices, the practices they have been engaged in.
Most of the money comes from Energy Department funds earmarked to help the automakers build more fuel-efficient cars.
This has been 30 years in the making. This so-called bridge loan to nowhere will be the first down payment of many.
GM CEO Richard Wagner could hit the road. There are calls for his resignation.
This management team that's currently in place
doesn't understand the urgency of the situation and is not willing to make the tough choices and adapt to these new circumstances, then they should go.
In November alone, 533,000 jobs were lost nationwide. 200 workers let go last week, demanding their severance and vacation pay. They want bailout money used to save them. Their employer, Republic Windows and Doors in Chicago, forced to shut down. The company's credit line cut by Bank of America. Illinois' governor ordered all state agencies to stop doing business with the bank in hopes of putting some pressure on them. Bailout money is moving fast. Just $15 billion of the $350 billion of the first installment is left, and there's more trouble. Tribune Company, the media giant that owns Chicago Tribune and the Los Angeles Times, as well as the Chicago Cubs, has filed for bankruptcy. A vote on the auto deal could come as soon as tomorrow. That's a move investors will be watching closely. Live in the Plex, Richard Jordan, 7 News.
Tonight, anger in Athens and other cities across the globe. Massive rioting breaking out after a fatal police shooting in the capital city of Greece.
Hundreds outraged after cops pulled the trigger. Saturday riots raging for 3 days now. Reed Cowan is live in the Satellite Center with more on this. Reed?
Craig Belkey's the fury is over the shooting death of a 16-year-old boy in Athens. It happened over the weekend. Protesters calling police tonight pigs and murderers. And in Athens, it's a powder keg.
Greek television news telling people to stay out of the streets. The streets on fire. A rogue band of anarchist teens leading the charge after one of their own was shot to death in a mysterious shooting by a police officer. That officer charged with murder, his partner in crime also in hot water. Outrage bubbling over in Athens. Look at the upper left-hand side of your screen. Protesters literally throwing fire in the form of Molotov cocktails. Protesters even burning a Ford dealership in Athens to the ground. Riot police shoulder to shoulder, not enough to dissuade the rock-throwing rioters. The anger not only isolated to Greece. In Berlin, Germany, 15 teenagers overtake the Greek consulate there, chanting the slain teenager's name. Same picture in the United Kingdom as the Greek embassy there saw flag-burning protesters. British police having to shove protesters aside, trying to get inside. From Berlin, the UK, and deep into the heart of Athens, the death of one teenager. Enough to bring hundreds more face-to-face with the police they blame for murder.
All right, and so right now it's dark in Athens, and we're being told from people on the ground there that the violence continues. To put this into perspective, Greek officials say with 130 businesses burned, this is the worst widespread rioting in decades. Meantime, the Greek prime minister is calling for calm, but the violence continues all across Greece, from the city to the countryside. Live in the Satellite Center, Reed Cowan, 7 News.
All right, Reed, the alleged mastermind of the Mumbai terrorist attacks now in Pakistani custody. Security forces there raiding an extremist camp in Kashmir Sunday, detaining a dozen suspected terrorists. 10 gunmen stormed India's financial center last month, killing 172 people, including 6 Americans. The arrest coming amid increased tensions between India and Pakistan over efforts being made by the government of Pakistan to find the group responsible for the attacks. The only group to ever be tried for the September 11th attacks will reportedly plead guilty to terror charges. 5 men being held at Guantanamo Bay telling a military judge they are ready to confess. Among the group, Khalif Sheikh Mohammed, the alleged mastermind of the terrorist attacks. All face the death penalty.
O.J. Simpson transferred to a Nevada state prison to serve out his sentence following his conviction on armed robbery and kidnapping charges. The former NFL star will be housed in an all-male, medium security facility outside Las Vegas. Simpson sentenced Friday to 33 years in prison after making off with stolen memorabilia from a Vegas hotel room. He could be eligible for parole in 9 years. His lawyers, meanwhile, are planning an appeal.
An overseas trip to Europe for Governor Chris, paid for with tax dollars, drawing a bit of controversy with the ailing economy. The governor's 12-day trip back in July included stops in London, Paris, St. Petersburg, and Madrid. The business trip, aimed at attracting international business in the Sunshine State, was initially supposed to cost $255,000, but according to published reports, the trip cost nearly $500,000. The governor brought along more than 24 people, including a photographer and 9 bodyguards.
As the news continues this evening, a South Florida mother trusting her child to a daycare, and she says she and her child were literally burned. Just one station with this story, live at 6.
One man shot during a robbery at a local donut shop. Tonight, the news his family did not want to hear. We'll have this story live at 5:30.
One man preying on couples along a South Florida beach. Now police say a community can breathe easier.
And a thug with a shotgun confronting a clerk, but you might be surprised who won this battle. Check it out for yourself up next.
And a 9-year-old facing an angry animal, and it's up to a snowboard. Keep him safe. We'll be back.
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. What? I know. Geico.
Tell me who's watching. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Me? I'm fast. That's why I use the BlackBerry Bold with AT&T 3G speed. I can surf the internet fast, download attachments fast, and send them to my friends fast. Excuse me for a sec. It's good to be fast!
Only AT&T has the new BlackBerry Bold, the fastest BlackBerry ever. Only on the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T.
A blood test that can tell if a certain cancer treatment is working. Tracking tumors. Ahead.
First, we spoke to an agent. When we saw what it would cost, we decided to go with ByOwner. They were prompt and came out the very next day. The rep was so helpful and the package was self-explanatory. We saved more than we expected. Thanks, ByOwner.
Call for a free consultation.
Checkers is gonna knock you out with some serious Philly flavor. Checkers' new Philly cheesesteak burger. It's a burger with real Philly steak, topped with grilled onions and melty cheese. Your choice. 2 Philly burgers, just $4. Or a Philly combo, just $4. You gotta eat. Little place, big taste. That's Checkers.
We were first-time sellers, and it was daunting.
ByOwner made the process so smooth.
They answered every question we had.
And we closed so quickly. Our documents were done 2 weeks early. Thanks, ByOwner.
Call for a free consultation.
A crook trying to get some cash at a convenience store, but a courageous clerk would not be intimidated. A gun pointed right at his face.
This worker, though, refused to back down. 7's Michelle Relaford reports from just outside Boston.
That store clerk was standing here behind the counter when the robber came through this door. He says he walked right up to the counter and asked for some cigarettes, and so the store clerk went down to get them. He put them on the counter. By the time he looked up, he was staring down the barrel of a gun.
Third time, I looked to him and he said, "Give me the money."
And watch what happens next. Raul Guerzo stares down the suspect, then he reaches across the counter and grabs his gun. After a struggle, the 59-year-old store clerk is able to wrestle this gun away from the robber.
I grabbed the hand, and I started fighting with him. And then I take it out the hand, and grab it to take the gun from him. And I push this hand like this. And give me the gun, I hit the gun in the hand, and that guy running.
Guerzo describes the suspect as about 5'5" with a pretty stocky build, but he ran out of the store empty-handed, no gun and no cash. Police are using this surveillance tape to try to find an identity. Guerzo has a few scratches from the fight, but he says he was not scared. He was mad.
Because I like to hit him.
Raul says his wife was not too happy to hear about his heroics. The store's owner, Luis Garcia, was just happy he wasn't hurt. But for Guerzo, it was the only thing left to do.
Push the hand like this, and they go. I grab it with the left hand.
Michelle Relaford, 7 News.
Fought back. Good for him. And he's lucky he didn't get hurt, though.
Yeah, first and foremost.
Well, still to come, justice is served again A South Florida courthouse back in business after a bad break.
A skydiver having a parachute problem at the worst possible time, but Lady Luck will be flying along with him.
And a manatee found in trouble. Tonight, some South Florida biologists determined to save this sea cow.
Closed captioning sponsored by City Furniture, offering same-day delivery and no interest until 2012.
It's a brand new day. Ross has the toys and games kids want to play.
Those brand name toys you pay big bucks for, you'll find at Ross at itty bitty prices.
Yes, at Ross, it's a brand new day.
City Furniture has irresistible prices on entire collections for your home. The Nouveau collection features a dramatic bed, an elegant dining room set, coordinating wall unit, and contemporary sofa group. Plus, City Furniture now offers same-day delivery, 7 days a week, and no payments for 1 full year.
This is all you'd get at a department store for $136. But at Ross, you'll get the same outfit, plus the shoes, the bag, the wrap, the jewelry, even the designer watch, and still get a little change. Ross, it's a brand new day.
Really wish I could be there this year. I miss you guys.
We're gonna miss you too. We all understand.
Dr. Bruce, telephone, please. Yeah. I should probably get going. I love you, Mom.
I love you too, sweetie. Bye.
So are you going to see family?
No, they're all up at my parents'. I'll see you tomorrow.
Anybody know where the calendar is?
Yes, I do.
Did you and Grandma make those cookies? I feel like a kid again, I gotta tell you.
It's perfect.
What would I do without way up there at the top.
Hello? Hey, Mom. I almost forgot. Wish everyone happy holidays for me.
Of course I will.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
7 News, brought to you in part by Paul Baines Roofing. Call 981-ROOF today.
One great taste, 2 ways to love it with the new KFC 2 Originals meal. 5 pieces of original recipe chicken and 4 new original recipe boneless strips, all freshly prepared with our famous 11 herbs and spices, plus 2 sides and 4 biscuits, just $14.99.
If you're 100 pounds or more overweight, come learn about weight loss surgery at a seminar this month at Palmetto General Hospital. It can change your life. Details at WSVN.com.
More than half of those diagnosed with cancer will undergo chemotherapy.
For some, it works, and for some others, it does not. As 7's Diana Diaz tells us now, a new personalized blood test can tell whether chemo is working by tracking tumors.
Move over a little teeny bit.
You would never know that just a few hours before she was making brownies with her kids, Evilise Page was told her stage 3 colon cancer had returned.
And now, the CT scan shows that there's something on my liver.
Earlier this year, she had the tumor and 15 inches of her colon removed.
It seems like at every point my husband and I felt like gotten the rug slipped from under us.
But now a new personalized blood test may be able to help her decide her next plan of attack.
It can tell you how much tumor you have, if you're responding to therapy or surgery or radiation.
As cancers grow, they shed fragments of DNA laced with mutated genes into the bloodstream. Researchers at Johns Hopkins have developed a new test that measures levels of those mutated genes. The test can not only detect the presence of a tumor, it can also track its progress and how it's responding to treatment. In a study of 18 patients, the blood test not only identified cancer in all of them, but also measured the level of cancer.
Right now, when you get a biomarker test or even a CT scan, that might give you a hint at how much tumor you have, but it's not going to tell you exactly how much tumor you have that you can or can't see.
The test may also help predict who will get cancer.
Ultimately, what we'd like to do is give this test to everyone in the country and tell you, you know what, we're concerned that you have a cancer because the causative mutation that causes cancer is found in your blood.
She hopes this test will help people like her make the right decision for themselves and their families.
None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. What we are guaranteed is today and making the most of it with our family and our loved ones.
Dr. Diaz says this test can be applied to any cancer that is linked to a known gene mutation like lung, prostate, colon, and breast cancer. In the Newsplex, I'm Diana Diaz, 7 News.
Now, time for 7 weather with Chief Meteorologist Phil Vero.
Kind of chilly start to the day, but it's been very nice this afternoon. Right now, we're taking a look at 72 degrees. Miami, under partly cloudy skies. For you in Fort Lauderdale, 74. The breeze out of the east at around 9 miles per hour. And Key West looking outstanding, mostly sunny, a temperature of 73. This is the local storm tracking radar. Basically nothing to be found. Earlier we saw some isolated sprinkles across the straits. The breeze is still coming in out of the east-southeast, and we could see an isolated shower this evening. High pressure is in firm control across the eastern seaboard, so we should see a nicer night and a warmer night. The lows will average about 10 degrees warmer than what we saw this morning. And then by tomorrow, there is a line of showers basically going from just offshore Broward and Palm Beach through the Carolinas, so we could see the possibility of a shower during the day tomorrow, but it will be warmer with highs getting close to 80 degrees. By the middle of the week, really nothing changes. We're going to remain on the warm and muggy side, and then we turn our attention to that front. This looks like a real strong front, and by the time it crosses South Florida on Thursday, we could see the possibility of some thunderstorm activity. Here's the marine forecast. First of all, threat of rip currents at the beaches, small craft exercise caution, 6-foot waters in the Gulf Stream, the bay with a moderate chop. For you throughout the lower Florida Keys, also with an advisory, inside the reef 2 to 3, beyond the reef 4 to 6, nearshore waters choppy. For tonight, partly cloudy. It will be mild as far as the temperatures are concerned. 69 at the coast, 64 inland. For you throughout the Keys, near 70. And then by tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. Average highs about 78, 79 degrees. We're looking at the low 80s all across South Florida. And here's your extended outlook. A better chance of thunderstorms come Thursday ahead of that very strong front. That's your 7 on 7. 7 News will be right back.
7 Medical Reports, brought to you by Baptist Cardiac and Vascular Institute. Physician referral line 786-596-2700. 7 Weather, brought to you exclusively by your local Toyota dealers.
The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is on now at your Toyota dealer. Visit your local Toyota dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 36 months on a new 2008 Toyota Yaris. Toyota, moving forward.
At BrandSmart USA, why wait for a huge Christmas sale when you can save now on digital HD flat panel TVs? Rooksonics 32-inch LCD is $398.88. A Samsung 37-inch LCD is $598.88. Or get a Samsung 42-inch plasma for $698.88. Panasonic's Viera 50-inch plasma is $898.88. Save up to $1,000 off all 46-inch and up 1080p flat panel TVs and get 0% financing until January 2010. See BrandSmartUSA.com for extended holiday hours. BrandSmart USA, of course, your favorite brands at low, low prices.
It's not wind, or water, or the sun. This is America. Our greatest renewable resource is opportunity. At Bank of America, every customer has the opportunity to make the most of every dollar. With check cards that build savings and credit cards that earn money back. Want to spend smart every time you spend? You can. At Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity.
On the road to pick up my kids, my car broke down. I had no way of reaching anyone. I was stranded.
Presenting SafeLink Wireless, a government-supported program providing a free cell phone, free minutes each month, and a free voicemail account. You are likely eligible if you receive food stamps, Medicaid, or have a family income under $26,000. Contact us now to see if you qualify. Applying is easy.
It's keeping us safe and sound.
Be safe. Stay connected. SafeLink Wireless. Call or apply online at safelinkwireless.com.
The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is on now at your Toyota dealer. Visit your local Toyota dealer today and check out the fuel-efficient 09 Toyota Prius with a 48 miles per gallon city rating. Toyota, moving forward.
Hey bikers, grab a toy, hop on your bike, and help some really special kids at the Toys in the Sun Run, Sunday, December 14th. Presented by Seminole Hard Rock and benefiting Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. Details at WSVN.com.
Extra government, extra excitement, extra analysis.
The great and hardworking Drew Rosenhaus.
Steve, Mike, Donovan, and Drew gets the extra edge. Lexus Sports Extra, Sundays at 11 on 7.
Hey, that's a wrap for us here on 7 News at 5. Ciao, ciao. I'm Belkis Nure.
I'm Craig Stevens. 7 News at 5:30 is next.
7 News, brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
Get what you want, get what you need. Get what DSL doesn't deliver. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. With speeds up to a blazing fast 12 megs. Surf safely with McAfee Security Suite. Consolidate your contacts in one convenient place and get tons of online storage. Get what you want, get what you need. Make the switch to Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. Just $24.99 a month for 6 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Live from the news station, this is 7 News at 5:30.
Tonight at 5:30, police calling it a crime connection. A group of suspects accused in a string of horrifying holdups at a South Florida business now linked to a separate murder. Good evening, everybody. They're accused of killing a man in Lauderhill.
And now they're facing murder charges in connection to a donut shop death. 7's Renee Marsh live in Tamarack with tonight's top story. Renee.
That's right, Charles. Police are calling these men more than just armed robbers, but now murderers. Now, if you look, this sheriff's car has been here. It's been here ever since this Tamarack Dunkin' Donuts was robbed. And now today, we are learning that one of the victims here has died. 3 of the so-called Dunkin' Donuts robbers now being called murderers. 56-year-old Kiem Hyun shot in the back Thanksgiving Day during one of the gunman's 3 donut shop raids. Sunday, Hyun died from his gunshot wounds. Police say 19-year-old James Herard the triggerman. Herard displaying some interesting behavior Monday in bond court.
Facing possibly the death penalty, sir. So you've come into this court on 2 occasions in which you've barked like a dog. I don't think you quite understand the seriousness of the charges against you.
Now, on top of the 4 armed robberies caught on tape in a 3-day span, 3 of the 5 men arrested in the string of robberies face even more charges.
All 3 will be charged with first-degree murder, and hopefully they will never set foot free in our communities again.
James Herard, Therard Bell, and Charles Faustin now facing murder charges for the November 14th Lauderhill murder of Eric Jean-Pierre. Innocently walking home from work, police believe the men killed for fun.
James Herard instigated Therard Bell and told him, bust him, bust him. Therard Bell then shot Eric Jean-Pierre in the heart and killed him. The trio then fled the area, bragging about how funny the victim sounded as he was shot.
I am dead because Eric Jean-Pierre he was the best in my life, the best for my family.
Roland DeMorme, the brother of another innocent victim terrorized by a gang of criminals police say killed for fun. Now, police say the shotgun used in the string of Dunkin' Donuts shop robberies is the same weapon that was used in that Lauderhill murder. Reporting live in Tamarack, Renee Marsh, 7 News.
An explosive find in Hollywood, a box of grenades discovered inside a unit at a condo complex along 38th Street and South Ocean Drive. A man cleaning out his deceased father's apartment and stumbling across the box that had some war memorabilia in it, World War II to be exact. He called the cops, the bomb squad came and took the box away. A rush hour wreck causing highway headaches this morning. A pickup hauling pesticides rolling over along westbound I-595 and Nob Hill Road in Davie. More than a dozen gallons of the chemical spilling onto the roadway. Traffic was backed up while they cleaned it up, and the truck driver was taken to the hospital.
Also in the news right now, a South Florida skydiver recovering after a fall he did not plan. His parachute snagged just as he was jumping out of an airplane.
7's Diane Fernandez live at Jackson Memorial Hospital with the story. Diane.
Charles Lynn, over the years, this expert skydiver has logged dozens of jumps, but only on this day, a parachute would deploy accidentally catching him and all aboard completely off guard, he would actually get dangled and tangled in the plane's tail for several terrifying seconds. After a 13,000-foot fall, he wouldn't break not a single bone.
The chute just inflated and pulled him to the tail and got tangled on the tail of the plane.
It's from the damaged tail of the skydiving plane that a man's life was literally hanging in the balance, tethered to the ripped parachute that deployed accidentally as he jumped from the plane Sunday morning at 13,000 feet. 27-year-old Rafael Soria of Pembroke Pines found himself hanging from the plane's tail for several seconds.
In 22 years of jumping, I've never seen anything like this occur.
As I went out, I looked back and I saw him hanging from there.
What remained of his chute saving him from a 2.5-mile free fall that would have meant certain death. Instead, the chute's remnants slowing his fall and an avocado tree in a grove nearby cushioning his landing. All of it conspiring to save Soria's life. In fact, the expectant father didn't even suffer a single broken bone.
He's a very, very lucky man.
How he cheated death, leaving those who know him to call it a miracle. All as investigators try to figure out what caused his parachute to open suddenly.
We believe, we're not 100% sure right now, but we believe that he brushed one of these pins as he was exiting the airplane.
It's the second time in 16 months a skydiver survives a fall during a Skydive Miami jump. And 11 years ago, all but one skydiver were killed during a plane crash. Despite the risks, enthusiasts like Soria live for the thrill. The 27-year-old lucky he didn't have to die for it. And amazingly, tonight Soria remains listed in good condition here at Jackson Memorial Hospital. He is expected to be released on Wednesday, all as investigators only begin to sort out exactly what went wrong. We're live here at JMH tonight. Diane Fernandez, 7 News.
Got some breaking news to tell you about. Word out of Miami Gardens that a trooper has been involved in an accident.
Blake Berman is at the news desk for us. Blake?
Yeah, we are learning that an FHP cruiser was involved in an accident. A trooper inside of that cruiser was involved in that accident as well. This is pictures from 7th Skyforce over the scene there. You can see that intersection. It looks as if one lane of traffic, or at least one way of traffic there, is getting through. This is near the area of 199th Street Northwest and 27th Avenue in Miami Gardens. Now, it is unclear at this time how the accident occurred. We do know that 2 people have been taken to the hospital. We do not know at this time that if that includes the FHP trooper in this case, but 2 people have been taken to the hospital. Let's get to another piece of video because we are learning of another accident around the area where traffic is being stifled. This is the I-95 ramp westbound to the Turnpike or the Palmetto, or by the Palmetto in that area. You can see that one lane is getting through there. Traffic very slow around that area. No injuries in this one, but again, the traffic in that area, the I-95 ramp westbound by the Palmetto. Again, you see the live pictures there as we swing around. If you're getting on that ramp, it is backed up, and man, look at those headlights. It is as far as we can see there from 7th Skyforce. So 2 situations that we are monitoring. First, that FHP cruiser by Northwest 199th Street and 27th Avenue where traffic is backed up. And again there, the I-95 ramp westbound. You saw the headlights there as we approach the rush hour, at least we're in it. You can see traffic backing up. That is the very latest at the news desk. Blake Berman, 7 News.
Also tonight, the family in New Jersey finding themselves in the line of fire. The relatives forced to dodge danger when bullets fly right through their home. Let's go to 7's Craig Stevens in the Newsplex with their story. Craig.
Well, the family hit with a major scare when the bullets came in, landing just feet from where their child sleeps.
A hunter's mistake has a New Jersey mother and father on edge. A huge bullet blasting through their home near Newark and into their toddler's bedroom.
I was actually told now that it was a bullet. I just couldn't, fathom that there was a bullet in my home.
Rui DeCampos waking up to find a hole in his bedroom wall and another one in the room next door to where his 2-year-old daughter Gianna sleeps and plays.
To me, it was a miracle. Like, everybody was at the right place at the right time. In this incident, everybody could be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was a hunter's bullet shot from a high-caliber rifle like this one, which traveled from a farming field a quarter mile away and into the DeCampos home early Wednesday.
What I keep
unfortunately picturing is if I was in her room with her getting her dressed, and I'm on my knees and she's standing there and I'm getting her dressed, and it's at that angle where it could have hit either one of us.
Lisa DeCampos feels lucky that little Gianna woke up earlier than usual that day, and the two of them were downstairs at the time.
This bullet, it's actually a headshot from its location.
Police officers and New Jersey game officials found the hunters and are handling the investigation. The DeCampos family says the man who fired the shot stopped by their home to apologize after talking to police.
This individual was telling me that he's finding out from yesterday coming to my home that this individual was a master hunter and a safety coordinator for his club.
Well, the DeCampos family wants more than an apology. They hope this experience will prompt New Jersey lawmakers to reconsider a decision that allows hunting with high-caliber weapons. In the Newsplex, Craig Stevens, 7 News.
Now at 5:30, your Miami Dolphins scoring a huge win north of the border. The team going from worst to first. Sports Director Steve Shapiro live in the Plex with what the players have to say about that. Pretty good stuff, Steve.
What a build-up. Even the newsroom jumping on the Dolphins bandwagon today. Big win against Buffalo. They played in Toronto yesterday. Third straight road victory and a big prize for the Dolphins with 3 weeks still to play. For the first time since 2003, your Miami Dolphins are in first place.
We can smell it, but I think we also realize that we got to keep on winning. We got to keep on playing well. I remember in 2002, we were in a similar situation, and we ended up dropping a couple of the last games, and we didn't make it.
The Finns have won 6 of their last 7. They're 8-5 and tied for first with the Patriots and the Jets.
Coming off a 1-15 season, we're talking about playoffs and possibly, postseason play. As a player, all the hard work that you do in the offseason and the preseason, this is what you work for.
Yesterday, the Dolphins beat Buffalo 16-3. They have not allowed a touchdown in their last 2 games.
And you've seen guys come up with plays throughout the course of this game. Jeremiah Bell makes a big tackle over there on a 4th down. I think we came up with a couple of 4th down plays during the course of this game on defense, and then, a couple big sacks by Joey down the end there. We just seen some good players step up today and play good.
There are 3 games left. If the Dolphins win them all, they win the division and are guaranteed to make the playoffs. A far cry from last year's team that won just 1 game all season.
We've come a long way as a team, want to kind of get last year out of the back of our mind, but at the same time, it's there, and, it was what it was. And at the same time, our opportunities that we have this year, we want to make sure that we can try to make the best of those.
Next week, the Dolphins are back home against San Francisco. We all want you to know the only place to watch the game, right here on Channel 7. Stay with us after the game for our live post-game show. More in sports at 6 o'clock. Live in the Newsplex, I'm Steve Shapiro, 7 News.
All right, we continue to follow this developing story. We've got some new video into the Plex of a military jet crash in California. This happened just a few hours ago. We'll have the latest developments coming up.
Plus, 2 brothers snowboarding dealing with an avalanche of danger. What happened to them in their own words.
A South Florida mother leaving her baby at daycare when she says something horrible happened, but the owner says it's not his fault. Both sides on just one station.
Court's in session, but it's not business as usual at a local courthouse. We're going to tell you why.
Plus, all this little girl wants for Christmas is her daddy. Can Santa make her wish come true? Find out a bit later.
Fox tonight, trapped deep in the wilderness.
The machine is coming to kill you.
They are being hunted.
It's coming!
An all-new Terminator. Then, they all want the same thing, but someone's gonna be disappointed.
This wasn't personal, this is just business.
An all-new Prison Break. It all starts tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Lots of fresh, delicious footlongs for just $5 each. Fill up on a footlong today.
At Subway. At Maruni.com, you get one thing most car dealers don't give you. Answers.
Do you have certified used cars on sale?
Yes. At Maruni.com, our entire inventory of factory certified used vehicles start as low as $10,995.
Why should I buy a certified used vehicle?
It's worry-free. Shop hundreds of certified used vehicles backed by a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, money-back guarantee, and more. Questions? Answers. Maruni.com.
An infusion of fashion splashed across one of South Florida's hottest spots. Details in Style File. Ahead.
The expression, less is more, is especially true when repairing aortic aneurysms. Baptist Cardiac and Vascular Institute doctors are pioneers in less invasive treatments. Learn about them at baptistheart.net.
Designers can't sell their fabulous clothes, and malls are struggling. Not to worry, Marshall's is snagging insane amounts of these great gifts and selling them at discount store prices. The totally crummy economy is now your opportunity at Marshall's.
Radiator problems putting a damper on your ride? Ride into Lazaro Radiators, the largest selection of radiators, fans, and condensers in South Florida, direct from the manufacturer at prices that won't be undersold. Don't let radiator problems stop you. Stop into Lazaro Radiators.
At Baptist Cardiac and Vascular Institute, our doctors are proud of their innovative treatments. But the truth is, they hope you'll never need them. Learn how to reduce your risk of heart disease at baptistheart.net.
He comes around this way, and then he bites me right on my arm. And then he backed away a little, and then he started circling around me again.
Two brothers with quite the tale to tell after an animal attack. The boys in for a wild encounter when they were snowboarding.
7's Belkis Nuray is in the Plex with their story. And what happened to them, Belkis?
Well, you know, coyotes in Colorado are known to mostly attack family pets, but recently one of these animals set its sights on some snowboarding siblings. Snowboarding is routine for the Sandlin boys, but little did 9-year-old Tony know he was about to embark on his own Indiana Jones-like tale.
My brother started screaming, and I didn't know why, and I wasn't listening.
An all-too-real encounter with a coyote in Colorado.
And wherever he went like that, and then he stopped and went the other way and bit him. I pushed him away, and then he started circling me again.
Trying to scare the animal away, Tony fought back with the only thing he could, his snowboard.
So then I whacked him like this.
The coyote eventually took off. Tony and his brother took off as well to tell Mom what just happened.
I was really worried that this might have been a sick animal, just because it's unusual behavior for a coyote.
An unusual behavior that landed Tony in the hospital.
That same night, I had to get 11 shots. 5 on this bottom bruise and 3 on this one, so that makes 8. And then 3 other ones on here, here, and here.
As you can imagine, word of the attack spread, putting the entire neighborhood on alert.
We need to probably be very conscientious about not going out in the evening.
While the coyote may have broken skin, the adventure certainly has not broken Tony's playful spirit.
If you're watching this, peace out.
All right, Tony. Peace out. This is unusual, though, because wildlife officials say coyotes are pretty much naturally fearful of people, and they only see a few coyote attacks on humans each year. We're glad you're okay, dude. Live in the Plex, I'm Belkis Nuray, 7 News.
All right, Belkis.
Still to come tonight from the Plex, a canine caper caught on camera and police on the hunt for some pet thieves.
Park and then pray. One of the Motor City's biggest churches opening its doors to something a bit strange.
And find out why President Bush gave such a warm welcome to a very tough critic.
Johnny, look at all this fresh seafood. It's the key to our newest creation, risotto di mare.
Fresh clams, mussels, shrimp, and scallops. Fresh seafood's the most important part.
And making the risotto rich and creamy.
And it's these Italian spices that give this a little Carrabba's kick.
I love a kick, Johnny.
I know. I like all these combination of flavors that makes our risotto di mare an authentic Italian dish. At Carrabba's, good things happen around our table.
7 News, brought to you in part by Owner.
City Furniture has a spectacular selection of dining rooms.
For just $4.99, you can get a great-looking dining room set. You'll love our selection of styles and finishes, all in stock at the guaranteed lowest price.
Plus, City Furniture now offers same-day delivery, 7 days a week, and no payments for 1 full year.
people of this city know who to call to fight their hunger. They call Papa John's. For our big movie meal deal, featuring 2 large one-topping pizzas, a big value, just $10 each when you buy both. And make it a pizza and movie night. Get a $3 off coupon for this year's biggest hit, The Dark Knight on DVD, when you try Papa John's big movie meal deal. 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $10 each when you buy both.
All year Cooling and Heating has the best prices on air conditioners. Guaranteed. Rheem 3-ton units, 13 SEER, $24.59. Rheem 4-ton units, 13 SEER, $28.99. All year Cooling and Heating has the best prices. Guaranteed. Free estimate. Call 954-566-4644.
It's the season for giving, so why not give the very best? Like the exhilarating Infiniti G sedan, or the bold Infiniti FX. They're gifts you can enjoy every day of the year. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Winter Event now to take advantage of our best offers of the year. Lease an Infiniti G sedan for $349 per month or get 0% APR financing.
A child with a parent stationed overseas knew exactly what she wanted Santa Claus to do: deliver Daddy. The 3-year-old had just one request for Santa.
And Old St. Nick was all ready to grant that request. 7's Richard Jordan live in the Newsplex with more. Richard?
Lynn, she's pretty adorable, huh? All she wanted was to spend the holidays with her dad, and this year, Santa helped make that homecoming happen.
3-year-old Kensley Penny promises this year she's been a good girl. The little girl who lives near Charlotte, North Carolina, does just what her grandma asks.
Throw Kensley a kiss.
And kisses her special American doll with her dad's picture every night.
And when we go to bed at night, do we say prayers for Daddy?
Kensley is hoping these good deeds will be enough for Santa Claus to give her the 2 special requests she has this Christmas.
I asked her if she wanted a new doll stroller for Christmas, and she said no. I said, well, what do you want? She said, I don't know yet. And we were out at Walmart one day, and she said, I want a truck and my daddy. Sing it for me one more time.
Santa baby, bring Daddy home.
Her daddy is Sergeant Scott Penny, and he's been serving in Afghanistan since March. It's been hard on Mom, April, but especially tough on little Kensley.
How much do you miss your daddy? How much?
Sure, again.
That much?
Luckily, this Santa has a lot of elves working for Kensley. Her wish has been approved by the North Pole and the Pentagon, and it's about to come true.
Okay. Who is that? That's your daddy. Would you like to go see your daddy?
Daddy. Hi, Daddy. I miss you. I love you.
She always says, you know, Lord, take care of my daddy and bring him home. And so this was something we really wanted to do for her for Christmas.
Proving to Kensley being a good girl really pays off.
For a couple of weeks, then he heads back overseas just before Christmas. Live in the Newsplex, Richard Jordan, 7 News.
Well, we told you about the story we've been following since 4 o'clock. A terrible military crash in San Diego. 4 homes destroyed, and now word of some people who have died, apparently.
Reed Cowan is in the Newsplex. He's following this for us. Reed?
Yeah, as I speak, there's a press conference going on updating all of us on this. You know, for the last couple of hours, we've been hearing that this plane went down and that nobody was injured. Well, as the smoke has cleared and as they've got that fire knocked down from 4 homes destroyed, word out of San Diego that city officials say 2 people have died after this fighter jet crashes in this San Diego neighborhood. 7 News, of course, watching all of the pictures and the press conferences as they happen, but right now that is the headline. 2 people have indeed perished in this military jet crash. I'll be back at 6 o'clock with an update on this story. In the Plex, Reed Cowan, 7 News.
Now, time for 7 weather with Chief Meteorologist Phil Varro.
All right, a chilly start to the day. Lows in the 50s this morning, but we've warmed up rather nicely. 72 right now in Miami with the wind out of the east at around 12 miles per hour. Fort Lauderdale, 74 under partly cloudy skies, and Key West looking very nice, mostly clear, and a temperature of 73. This is the local storm tracking radar. It is looking pretty good out there. Nothing to report from Lake Okeechobee through Broward, Miami-Dade, and the Keys. We could still see an isolated sprinkle later on tonight, but it looks like that's about it. Now, high pressure will be in firm control, so we're looking at a very nice night all across South Florida, and the temperatures will be at least 10 degrees warmer than what we saw this morning. By tomorrow afternoon, there is a line of moisture that will be developing just basically off of Broward and Palm Beach heading into the Carolinas. We could see a shower. Highs will be right around 80 degrees. And then as far as the middle of the week is concerned, everything is still looking mighty warm with the breeze coming in out of the southeast. It's going to drag plenty of heat and humidity. Then we turn our attention to this front. We don't expect a big change in temperatures from it, but as it makes its way across South Florida on Thursday, there is a good chance for some thunderstorms across the area. Small craft exercise caution, threat of rip currents at the beaches, the bay with a moderate chop. For you throughout the lower Florida Keys, also with an advisory. Inside the reef, 2 to 3, beyond the reef, 4 to 6 feet. For this evening, partly cloudy, 69 at the coast, 64 inland, close to 70 degrees for you in the Keys. And then by tomorrow, a nice beach breeze, isolated shower, highs right around 80. And here's your extended outlook, a good chance of thunderstorms come Thursday. That's your 7 on 7. 7 News will be right back.
Want gifts for everyone on your list at prices you just can't resist? Well, Ross has them all. For Dave, for Trish, for Tom, for Dawn. At Ross, our list of great gifts goes on and on and on.
Inside that truck is something familiar. Duracell batteries. And if you think all batteries are the same, consider this. These batteries are going to the Mattel Children's Hospital, UCLA, because here they use the most technologically advanced equipment for the healing and the play. And to power all those toys, the people at Duracell packed up a truckload of batteries, because nothing's better than powering a smile. Duracell, trusted everywhere. Feel free.
It's a special time of year. Time to give the ones you love the power to own the road.
Yeah.
Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. And enjoy no payments at signing when you lease or finance select Audi models.
Rick lives for the great deal, so instead of paying over $300 at a department store, he went to Ross and got the exact same outfit, plus one for working out and one for kicking back, and still had almost $100 left over. Ross, it's a brand new day.
Finally at 5:30, a presidential pack for one of the Commander-in-Chief's harshest celebrity critics. Look at that, little kissy poo. Barbara Streisand is not a fan of President Bush. You probably already know that.
That's breaking news, but she set aside politics at the Kennedy Center Honors. Louis Aguirre live at the Newsplex with a look at the ceremony. Hi, Louis.
Hi, guys. The honors paying tribute to people who've had a positive influence on American culture through performing arts. And as you're about to see, it was a night of stars.
Singer and actress Barbara Streisand has been a vocal critic of President Bush, but it didn't stop him from giving her a kiss on the cheek last night. It happened at the Kennedy Center Honors, which recognizes people who've helped define American culture through performing arts and are part of the living memorial to the late President John F. Kennedy.
Good evening and welcome to the 31st Annual Kennedy Center Honors.
Caroline Kennedy is starting the evening off in the Performing Arts Center named for her father. Those honored this year, actor Morgan Freeman, dancer Twyla Tharp, country star George Jones, and Streisand, recognized for their individual bodies of work Sunday night. Streisand's standing ovation lasted a long time. Babs inducted by Queen Latifah, and she was saluted by R&B phenom Neo.
I'm lonely. The sky was blue, the night was cold.
How was the White House this evening? It was fun. It was good.
Oscar winner Morgan Freeman inducted by his Glory co-star Denzel Washington. And Randy Travis and Garth Brooks tag team.
Now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch.
To induct veteran country crooner George Jones.
How was the White House?
It was brilliant.
Wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh, and guess who rounded out the class of 2008? The founding members of The Who, Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend.
By the way, Barbra Streisand and President Bush shared a theater box for a portion of the ceremony. It was icy cold. Live in the Plex, Louis Aguirre, 7 News.
They're new best friends. Thanks, Louis.
That is 7 News at 5:30. Thank you for choosing us tonight. I'm Charles Villar.
I'm Lynn Martinez. 7 News at 6 with Belkis and Craig starts right now.